Ever had a crystal clear memory of something, only to find out it never happened? Maybe you and a friend remembered the exact same event completely differently? You're not going crazy. This happens to everyone, every single day. Our brains are constantly creating false memories, little glitches in our personal timelines that can change how we see the world, the people in it, and even ourselves. It's a bit unsettling, but it's also incredibly fascinating. So let us dive into the weird and wonderful world of your memory and figure out why it's not the reliable hard drive you think it is. First, we need to understand that memory isn't like a video camera. It doesn't record events perfectly and store them away for later playback. Instead, remembering something is more like an act of creative storytelling. Every time you recall a memory, your brain isn't just pulling up a file. It's actually reconstructing the event from scratch. Using bits and pieces of information scattered across different parts of your brain, think of it like building with Legos. You have the essential pieces, the people, the place, the main action, but your brain fills in the gaps with other information, like your emotions at the time, your current beliefs, or even things you've been told by others. This reconstruction process is where the glitches happen. One of the most common ways false memories form is through what psychologists call misinformation. This is when incorrect information gets woven into the fabric of an old memory. Imagine you witnessed a minor fender bender. A few days later, a friend who also saw it says, "Wow, did you see how fast that blue car was going?" Even if the car was green, their suggestion might be enough to overwrite your original memory. The next time you think about the accident, you might vividly remember a speeding blue car. This isn't because you're lying. Your brain has genuinely rewritten the memory file. This was famously demonstrated in a study by psychologist Elizabeth Loftus. She showed participants videos of car accidents and then asked them questions. When she used the word smashed to describe the collision, people estimated the cars were going much faster and were more likely to falsely remember seeing broken glass than when she used a softer word like hit. Just a single word was enough to alter their memory of the event. This shows how incredibly suggestible our memories can be, which has huge implications for things like eyewitness testimony in courtrooms. An innocent person could be wrongly convicted because a witness's memory was accidentally contaminated by a poorly phrased question. Another big source of false memories is our own imagination. Simply imagining an event can sometimes be enough to make our brains believe it really happened. This is called imagination inflation. Have you ever told a story so many times that the details get a little more dramatic with each telling? At first, you know you're exaggerating for effect. But after a while, your brain can start to adopt those embellished details as part of the actual memory. You've imagined it so vividly and so often that it feels real? The line between what happened and what you've pictured blurs. This happens because the brain regions we use to remember the past are the same ones we use to imagine the future. When you remember your last birthday and when you imagine your next one, you're firing up very similar neural circuits. Because of this overlap, the brain can sometimes get confused about the source of the information. Is this a memory of a real experience, or is it a memory of something I just imagined? This is known as a source monitoring error. You remember the information itself, but you forget where it came from. Did you read it in a book, see it in a movie, or did it actually happen to you? It's surprisingly easy for the brain to mix these up. Our emotions also play a massive role in shaping and sometimes warping our memories. Highly emotional events tend to be remembered more vividly, but not always more accurately. Think about a very happy or very sad moment from your past. The memory probably feels incredibly strong and detailed. It's because your brain's emotion center, the amygdala, works with your memory center, the hippocampus, to tag emotional events as important. Save this. This is a useful survival mechanism. You want to remember the snake that bit you so you can avoid it in the future. However, intense emotion can also act like a spotlight, illuminating the central details of an event while leaving the peripheral details in the dark. This is called weapon focus. If someone is pointing a gun at you, you'll probably remember the gun with incredible clarity. But you might not be able to remember the person's face, what they were wearing, or what the weather was like. The emotional stress narrows your attention, leading to a strong but incomplete memory. Later, your brain might fill in those missing peripheral details with plausible guesses, creating a memory that feels complete but is actually part fiction. And it's not just big, dramatic events. Our everyday biases and beliefs constantly color our recollections. We have a tendency to remember our past in a way that makes us look good. This is called the self-serving bias. You might remember seeing that job interview, conveniently forgetting how you stumbled over a few questions. You remember all the times you were thoughtful and kind to your partner, but the times you were grumpy or selfish might be a little fuzzier. We are the heroes of our own stories. Our brains work as our personal public relations team, editing our memories to maintain that heroic narrative. This is all part of a bigger phenomenon known as motivated forgetting, where we unconsciously push away memories that are painful or threaten our self-esteem. It's not the same as deliberate suppression, where you actively try not to think about something. It's a more subtle, automatic process. The brain gently nudges uncomfortable truths into the background, making it easier to maintain a positive view of ourselves and our lives. Over time, this can lead to a significantly distorted personal history. So, if our brains are creating these little fictions every day, what does that mean for us? Should we just give up on trusting our memories altogether? Not at all. For the most part, our memory system works pretty well. It allows us to learn, navigate the world, and maintain our sense of self. But recognizing its flaws is crucial. It can make us more humble, more understanding when our memory differs from someone else's, and more critical of our own certainty. When you and a friend disagree about a past event, it's rarely because one of you is lying. It's more likely that you both have slightly different reconstructed versions of the truth. Your brain filled in the gaps with one set of details and theirs used another. Understanding this can save you a lot of arguments. It also reminds us of the power of external memory aids. Writing things down, taking pictures, and recording videos aren't just for nostalgia. They are ways of creating a more objective record that is less susceptible to the biases and glitches of our internal memory. Your journal from 10 years ago might hold a more accurate account of your feelings than your current edited by time recollection. The science of false memories is a powerful reminder that our perception of reality is subjective. Our brain isn't a passive observer. It's an active participant, constantly interpreting, editing, and even creating our experience of the world. Those tiny glitches, those false memories we form every day, aren't just errors. They are a fundamental part of how our minds work, weaving together fact, fiction, emotion, and imagination to create the rich, complex, and deeply personal story of our lives. So the next time you catch yourself misremembering something, don't be too hard on yourself. Just take a moment to appreciate the incredible, creative, and sometimes unreliable storyteller that lives inside your head. Thanks for watching, and if you found this interesting, consider liking the video and subscribing for more journeys into the mind. See you next time.